Hello everyone, how are you? Very happy to be here again with you. Last time I talked about my experience with English, how I learned English and so on. So if you haven't watched the video, you're going to find it in the description box. Don't miss it, maybe it's going to be helpful for you. You are going to take some insights. Anyway, so after that video, some people asked me to talk about my experience with teaching. And that's what I'm going to do right now. Actually, teaching has changed my life. Teaching is awesome. Thanks to teaching, I have met with extraordinary people. I have improved myself, my English. I have improved my social skills as well as I deal with people, with colleagues, teachers, with managers, and so on. Great. So let's go back approximately like 10 years ago. I was quickly I told you like I was an average student, not to say weak. I was an average student the first year of the university. So I have decided to work on my level, on my competencies, on everything, on my skills. So if you want to know that and how, please go to the previous video. Then straight when I passed and went to the second year. I remember I was in the student bus. I was with a classmate or a friend of mine, and he told me, "Nassim, why you don't teach?" I said, "Come on, like I'm only second year. How can I teach?" He said, "But you don't really need like a certificate in order to teach." And I said, "Are you kidding me?" He said, like he told me like he knows some friends of him, of course, who are teachers and who haven't got any certificates. Some of them are students as well. I said, okay, why not? So of course, then I started typing my CV. I had no experience ever, like no experience. I remember I put on the CV that I'm second year university student. I remember I started like submitting my CVs in some schools. Of course, as you can guess, like no one was interested. And then I went to Badrawah, and there was a school there. I don't know if it's still there. It's called LGC School. And I submitted my CV there. I have a neighbor. His name is Nasruddin. So Nasruddin, if you are watching this video, hello, and thank you so much for your pieces of advice. So I told him my story, and I have submitted my CV, and he was advising me, and I'm advising you now, like when you submit your CV, try to check. Try to see, are they dealing with your CV or not? It works with them, with some schools, it doesn't work with others. It works with companies, it doesn't work with others, but it worked with me. So I submitted my CV, a week passed and no answer. So I took my phone, I called, and I said like, I have submitted my CV a week ago and no answer. They said, okay, we are gonna take a look, and maybe we're gonna contact you. And yeah, they contacted me after 2 days. Of course, the salary was not that great. I remember I started working with 150 dinars. So when I say 150 dinars, it's 15,000 or 150 dinar, 15,000. So it doesn't help at all. So you can't do anything with that money. But I said, okay, it's experience. And here is the thing. So new teachers, even if you have 1 year experience or less or more, the most important thing for you, so novice teachers or students or whoever you are, so the most important thing is that you take the experience, because that helped me to be in contact with with students, to know how to deal with the students, to know how to stand up, how to talk, how to monitor, how to do that and that, to get pieces of advice. When you start working, you're going to be with colleagues who are going to help you. You can get insights. So this is really important. Why I'm focusing on that? Because many novice teachers or new teachers, or even with 1 or 2 years of experience, like they focus more on money. Don't do that. So what you want to do is to have experience. And maybe you are watching me and you are saying like, we are not teachers, we don't want to be teachers. Even if you want to do anything, like experience is very important. And by the way, if you want to get experience, so it's okay if you volunteer. Volunteering is great. Like in order to start working at any school or organization or company or wherever, you need to have the experience, and you can have it only volunteering work. So you can go to schools, you can say like, I'm free like Saturday or Friday or any other day. I can work with you like 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day without getting money. You are going to surprise them, of course. You know, we don't have that culture here in Algeria, but believe me, it works everywhere. So that helps you to have that experience and to work and to be in touch with the working space and the working world and whatever. Yeah, so I started working the first year. It was a new experience, and of course I was making mistakes. And you know, don't feel bad if you make mistakes, because you learn from your mistakes. But one thing is important, especially if the mistake is with your students, especially if the mistake is related to an information or a piece of information that you have conveyed, and then you checked and you figured out that it was a mistake and not correct. So please correct it, because the students will take the information from you and think or believe that it's true. So please, as I said, it's okay to make mistakes. We are all humans, but make sure to correct them. I remember when I was student now, when I was at high school, when I was at college, some of the teachers like have given us some wrong information. And of course, when you take the information from the very first time, you don't know English and you think it's true. So it's going to be in your mind, and it's difficult to change it. This is the thing. Yeah. What was great about it is that I tried to make or have something special about me. So when you teach, when you do a piece of work, so here I'm focusing on teaching because I am a teacher, but it works wherever, it works everywhere, it works with whatever job. So try to have something, like when I say Nassim, I say something about him, okay? So the thing about me, like when I teach, I try to be like fun, cool, so that students like it, so that they forget that outside, that forget that they are in the classroom, you know, because the students, when they come, they keep watching other watches. They are really, they are hasty. They want to go out. They do not focus. They do not concentrate, and this is bad. They are not going to learn, and that affects, of course, their learning process. So try to discover yourself. Try to have something that others don't have. Try to have that stamp on you. You see what I mean? So that when I say, for example, Amin, I say, Amin is characterized by that. Yusuf is characterized by that. Sohila, I don't know, Sumaya is characterized by that. So try to have something special about you. Yeah, so I was a student and a teacher at the same time. That was difficult. Like I used to work, then like in the morning and afternoon, then in the evening I hurry to school. I teach for 2 hours, sometimes 3, then I go back home. I'm very tired, but the thing is that I have to revise my lessons, or I have to prepare my lessons, or I have to prepare lessons of the university, like that I have to prepare in the university, and lessons that I have to teach. So it was a lot of work, but it was okay. Many people think that they cannot do everything. They cannot handle 2 things at a time, and it's wrong. You can do that, especially if you are young. You can do many things at a time. Just believe on yourself and say, yeah, I can. Then I'm going to mention a school that I'm working there, you know, until now, that helped me. So it's called Yasin. It started as a primary school, then they upgraded to a college, and now they have a high school, and they have a French high school, which is great as well. I remember the manager, when I told her, Madame Belid, when I told her that I'm a student, she didn't say, no, sorry, I need someone who has finished university, someone who has a degree from university. She didn't say that. She gave me a chance to like to show myself and to say, yeah, I'm here, and you know, to show my abilities. And I remember I started working. Now after Andusi school, I went to this private primary school, because I started after 1 year from Bajra. I went to Cuba and I worked as a teacher at primary school. and I cannot forget how like teachers were impressed. I'm gonna tell you something. The teachers who were before me, they were saying like it's a primary school, like we were teaching only 45 minutes a day, and they said okay, they are kids, English is not that important for them, so they were not taking their job seriously. But when I came, I took my job seriously and I was really teaching them English, not like the other teachers. So I cannot forget how parents were calling me, how parents were visiting me, encouraging me, saying that I'm doing an incredible job. And that I said, yeah, that's my vocation, that's what I want to do. And then I started loving teaching. So I started with kids, I like kids. I taught, believe it or not, I taught English at a nursery school. Like I dealt with like pupils of 3-4 years old. Yeah, that was amazing. Then I went to college, then to high school, then I started working with many other schools. I was looking for workshops. And if you are looking for workshops, by the way, if now you are a teacher and you are looking for a place where to enhance your teaching abilities and skills, I do advise you to take a look on MSTC Facebook group. So MSTC, I think Middle School Teachers of English, MSTC, something like that. So just type MSTC on Facebook, you will have the group. What's amazing about this group, I'm going to say hello to Aziz, I think his name. So Aziz is a teacher from Indifla, if I'm not mistaken. So what he does, like he has his teachers or he contacts some teachers. This is a volunteering work, by the way. This is why I say volunteering work is great. So he has his contacts, he contacts other schools, and they try to have or to manage to have workshops for teachers, new teachers, novice teachers, experienced teachers, all of them, like they meet together. I think they have workshops like up to 6 or 7 times a year. So every 2 months there is a workshop. So they come up with new ideas. They contact like those experienced teachers who are going to transmit their experience to the new ones. So it's a great work. What is great about my story is that my students are like, like the ancient teachers, like they are teachers, they are the others are pupils, okay? I give the rules, you obey. But when I teach, like I consider my students as my friends, and I think that they feel that. I'm gonna tell you a story that happened to me. So I told you, like I taught in many other schools. I taught in a school called Les Iris in Cuba, and I was in love with my students. I cannot forget that. I taught there for 2 years, then I have decided to stop to go to another school, and I cannot forget how much I cried. The students were crying. We were hugging each other. We were crying like crazy. We were crying like hell. Like, it was so difficult for me to leave them. Like they were a part of me. And this is if you are a teacher, like you know what I'm saying. You feel what I feel. And the surprise was that after 3 years, so I told you I stopped working there. I moved to another school, to another high school. So the students that I was teaching, they were at college, and then they went to high school, private high school, of course. And the surprise was that 50% or more of the students that I taught came to the school I taught in, and it was a surprise. So I cannot forget that day when I met them. I was so happy, excited to see them again. They are all special, and I feel happy because 80% of them are great in English. Some of them are really fluent, and I say maybe I have, because they have started English with me, and they said, yeah, I did a great work with them. So here I'm going to say hello to Layal. If you are watching this video, hello Layal. She's a great student. She's so fun. She's fluent. She's a dancer. She likes what she does. She's amazing. I say hello to Sami. Oh my gosh, you have to hear him. You have to listen to his British accent. He told me like I went to England for 15 days, and that was enough for this guy to absorb the British accent and speak with him. I'm not exaggerating, but if you just hear him, he speaks like a native. I say hello to Adam. I say hello to all my students of Katib Yassin and my students as well in British Council. I started teaching there as well. I say big hi to Fuad. Fuad, like always when he sees me, he comes, he salutes me, he hugs me, he likes me a lot, and I like him so much. He's like my little brother. The list is long. I'm not going to list, but I love my new students, by the way. So I'm going to list the classes, so première S2, première S1A et B. I forgot my classes now. Troisième S3 et troisième S3 spécifique et scientifique. So I love you all. So I have spent great moment with you, and I hope that we are going to keep together and stay together even after you graduate and go to university. So I'm going to stop here because I feel that I have talked too much. I hope that this video was beneficial for you and you can take an idea about how to teach, what to do. And I hope that you felt that energy that it's inside me, because when you are a teacher, you need to have that energy in order to be successful in your job. So I'm going to end with saying something. Loving what you do is super important. If you don't love what to do, you are not going to be successful. Before leaving, please, if you are watching this video and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and share this video with your friends so that we grow our community together. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care. Love you all. My students, if you are here, say hello and see you soon. Take care.